Hi, well, you know who I am. I'm B from Sorcery Soap, and today we're going to make soap buttons. And I've made this video before, but I'm going to help you through it a bit more than I have in the past because I saw flaws in the previous video, and I want to touch on something that's happened with me for the last couple weeks, and that is well, I'm not really sure how to say it. More like a soap dilemma. And I've been fighting it. And, you know, I've made hundreds of videos. I've made hundreds of unique soap creations. And I never thought I'd get to the point where I was just like almost, well, this is what I've been thinking for the last few weeks. Maybe I'm done with soap. And so I just let it set, and I tried not to make too many meanings out of it or tell myself a story about it. And so, as some of you know, I've been crocheting and making a lot of hats, and I plan on giving a lot of gifts this year, and making polymer clay things. And so I've still been creating and being creative. And I post a lot of videos from previous soap things in the group to try and keep people inspired and to let them know what's possible. Not everybody's bought my books, and not everybody knows who I am. Not everybody knows what I've created. And so I try to put up posts that help stimulate the creative juices. And the fact that I've made, let's say 50% of the month, I've made something pretty unique or tried my hand at doing something better that I have done in the past for the last almost 8 years is amazing in and of itself. So I started considering maybe I was done. Maybe that's all I had to give, you know, maybe that's everything. And then this morning, so I let my foot off the gas pedal and I just said, I'm going to do these other things. And I realized this morning that my creative energy will continue to manifest no matter what I do. And it is, I'm highly more creative when I'm giving something, and when I feel like there's this sort of subtle push on the other side that I'm excited to share it and talk about it, or even not talk about it, but just excited to share it. Because when something's really creative, when something's really inspired, let's put it, I learned this in writing when I studied writing, which is authentic detail. You can't manifest authentic detail in fiction mentality. That's why good writers take notes on all of life. And because those very specific details don't get run through our sort of computer. We're so much more complex than computers, but they don't get run through that algorithmic processing, pattern matching behavior in the way that the experience, being in the soup of the experience in the moment, manifest or comes to, or that you become aware of. And so, you know, I can push myself, I'm quite disciplined, I can push myself to continue to make things that I'm uninspired by. And I didn't want to do that because that's inauthentic and insincere. And one of the reasons I've survived through, you know, the soap world and all this other stuff is because first of all, you can't force multiply me. So, which means you can't take my whole expression of soap and make it a manufacturing situation. The only thing I can do is sort of cottage industry, support you and make soap dough for you. That's really it. I'm sorry if I'm moving everything around. But I can't be contained in the sense that one person could probably take one of my soap expressions and force multiply that. For example, I made 200 chickens at one point, but no real human wants to stand there and make chicken soaps all day by hand. In order to do that, there's a lot of other moving parts that would have to happen. So I just constantly keep moving forward. But here I came to a new movement that was different than I've done in the past, or was relatively, it was a new couple different mediums, and it was a little bit different. And so I was really patient with it. And I continued to do what I do, which is, make my hats and show pictures of them. And those of you that are attracted to them are attracted to them, and make some polymer clay and show examples and all that kind of stuff. So I still have my hand in all this. So essentially what I want you to know is that I love soap. I have no idea why. I love creating new things. And so I will continue to do that. I just want you to know that just because I'm quiet here, that doesn't mean I'm not working through all these sort of concepts and these ideas and striving to bring new things. And generally, especially when I've had sort of a lull in the past, I'll go back and revisit another soap and then multiply that. And then so that it keeps my hand in my soap dough game, and it keeps me moving forward and keeps me in the practice of it. And so, for example, like when I've sort of waned on my attraction to soap, I'll just make 20 bars of soap dough. 20 bars of chickens. And, or I would work on my books, or I would, do these other things. But because I'm ever evolving and changing, just like you all are, that this expression this time is different. And I woke up this morning realizing it was different. However, with that, I fell asleep last night and I was thinking about one particular soap, which is a button soap that I've made in the past. And that button soap had a bunch of little buttons on top. And so what I was thinking is, instead of little buttons, I wanted to go bigger. And so I want to make big buttons on top of a soap bar. Now, when you cut it, it's not going to look like a button, and I don't care. I somehow I think it's going to be fun anyway, and I think there's going to be something else that's going to show up as I'm doing this process. So in theory, and haven't done it yet, but I'm going to show you how to make buttons today once I get done talking. I didn't know I had so much to say. Anyway, so once I get done with that, I was thinking two things. Possibly, if I can get all this pulled together, I want to take big buttons, make these big buttons so that you see what they look like as soap cookies. Wow, my hair looks all weird. Anyway, tangent, distraction. So I want to take these big buttons, make these really big buttons in solid colors and wrap them around the side of the soap. We'll see if I can do it. Even if I fail, I can still put these buttons on top of a soap. And yes, it's going to look different once it gets cut. And I'm okay with that because I said the same thing about a whole bunch of other things and it all turned out fine. So that's one part of it. I want to show you that today. And then also because you can make these into soap cookies for stocking stuffers and Christmas, and they're really fun. I mean, I think they're fun. They have to be made a little bit thicker. However, with that said, I also want to put it out to you all and tell me what you think and what you would like to see me make, even if it's something I haven't done before, particularly if it's something I hadn't done before, that'd be fun too, and see what we can come up with. And most recently, I don't know if you knew this, I'll see if I can put a picture in this. I say I see because sometimes I forget. The little campfires with the marshmallows, which I think are really fun. And I think that's pretty much it. I've talked quite a bit. This is 10 minutes, and I feel like I've talked quite a bit. But I needed to use a lot of words in order to convey exactly what's going on, and I'm still not on the money about it. I'm striving to give you an energy of like what I'm going through, and I that has so many connotations to it that it's kind of weird. Like, not like it's problematic or any of that stuff. It's just an experience. And the other thing is I haven't talked anything about the world at large. So I will not talk about specifics about that at all. And there's a lot of reasons for that. I'm smarter than that, for one. But things are changing, and I want to put my true energy into the soup of us, because there has to be people like me that move us forward in order to see the world differently. So obviously we can't go on like we've begun. We have to change and evolve. And so that I am an expression of that. I am in the changing of it. And rarely do I get an opportunity like this to talk about the change of it. Because mostly what happens is that it's hindsight, and you can look back and go, oh, I could see how I changed that. And that has happened over a course of time about a lot of things. And, I've tried to replay things and go, well, I succeeded in that, and I don't know how to do that. And so here I am in the midst of it. And so that's it. This is going to go on too long. I could keep going, and I don't really want to. So let's get on to making some stuff. And I might chop this up so that this is part of the buttons, so that you don't have to be bored to listen to me if you don't want to. So anyway, I really appreciate you, every single person that's here. There's something about you being here that inspires me and encourages me, and I do feel pressure by it. I mean, that is the truth of it. But I also feel the pressure to be authentic and sincere, and to give you the best version of me. And when the rest of the world was weird, and for me getting a lot of grief in a lot of different areas, I knew that you all were going to still be here and accept me and encourage me and look forward to things that I could share without grief. And that made me really happy. So anyway, that's all I have to say, and I'm going to get to it. Okay, thanks.